Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for being here. This is a fantastic day to start a little bit of a focus of something that's been 100 years in the making, and it's not me. All right, so just the hair gives it away, though. I'm very pleased to introduce our State Transportation Board Chairman, Emily Dunn, to come up and offer some words about the Centennial, and then I will follow her as well. And thanks to the board members that are here for this great event. Again, this is just the beginning of a whole season or year of celebration for 100 years. And today started very special with our State Transportation Board and Chairman Dunn going over to see the governor, and the governor has signed our proclamation to officialize that we're 100 years old. So it's been a great day thus far, and look forward to this event. And thank you all.
Good afternoon and happy birthday to Georgia DOT. This is a special day and it's going to be a special year. From the 1910 Good Roads Movement to intelligent transportation of the 90s through today, it's all because of you, the men and women of Georgia DOT. Our accomplished history has been widely regarded as a very integral part of our state. We stayed the course from a yesterday that drove our present, finding new ways to invest in tomorrow's transportation today. By doing so, we've improved mobility and quality of life around the state, supported by the 2012 Transportation Investment Act to the Transportation Funding Act of 2015. To reach these significant milestones over 100 years took the tireless effort of many people with many names and faces, those with vision, those with passion, those with innovation, to those who took a stand. And each one of you, those who have come before us and those with us today, all excelling at what you do best in making our transportation system remarkable. Every one of you are doing an excellent job, even as you managed more mile lanes with less employees. Georgia DOT thrives today and is set to do even greater things in the future. We've certainly made significant strides, and we have much to be proud of. Our 10th largest transportation system in the country speaks for itself. So as we look ahead, let's not forget our past. As we did then, let's use this centennial opportunity to reaffirm our commitment to work together and to make the next 100 years even better. To simply be the best, using our past to applaud our present time and earn our place in the future. Congratulations to the great Transportation Board for all that you do on behalf of the residents of Georgia. Congratulations to the leadership of this department and for your vision, direction, and guidance. And most importantly, congratulations to the 4,000 plus employees of the Georgia DOT for your hard work and your dedication to our mission. Happy 100th birthday.
Thank you very much, Chairman Dunn. It's my pleasure now to bring a few comments about the Centennial. And, as we reflect back to 1916, a very long time ago, things were much different. But it's really an exciting time for us here at Georgia DOT as we kick off our Centennial celebration. It actually was August 16th, 1916, was when the Georgia General Assembly created something called the State Highway Commission. And the Highway Department of Georgia was born. So it started out as a highway department. Our name changed back in 1972 to the Department of Transportation, a little more encompassing than just the highway department. And I can tell you we do a lot more than just highways, despite contrary to belief sometimes, right? We certainly do, as Carol Comer sitting in the front row can attest. So back in 1917, a year after, or not even a year after the creation of the Highway Department, the annual federal aid fund for Georgia was a whopping $134,000. Boy, you could get a lot done with $134,000. I'm not sure that we can even get anybody on a job for $134,000 now. And it doubled back in 1918. In 1919, the first state highway engineer, top engineer, had a whopping salary of $6,000 a day. Meg, you're overpaid. So $6,000. So that was a big salary, though, back then. That was a big salary for a very vital job, just as vital as it is today, being the state highway engineer, which translated into the chief engineer's role. In the 20s, the state gas tax increased 4 times. How about that? 4 times gas tax increase. Boy, took some political will back then to make that happen, I'm sure. From the original 1 cent per gallon to 3 cents, and then 3.5 cents. So it increased 4 times from 1 to 3.5. So I'm sure that was big. That's percentage-wise is real big. Then it was 4 cents, and finally 6 cents in 1929. And then back in 1922, the annual report showed that over $23 million, including $9 million of federal funds, had been used for construction of new roads. And then it was full steam ahead for transportation in Georgia. And that's where things started, was getting out of the mud, getting improved roadways so that people were not just on muddy roads that came from horse and buggy. Now, none of us were around back in 1916 when this all began, but I know you all join me in taking pride in the historic achievements that have been achieved thus far. And as you saw on the banner out there, I've seen if there was one here, we're celebrating a century of really what is the essence of Georgia DOT, about being the best in safety, in service, in innovation. And that's what we embody as men and women of GDOT. That's what we always focus on, is really safety, service, and innovation. And the rest takes care of itself. So I'm very delighted that some of y'all are wearing the pins. Everybody should have, hopefully you have a 100th Centennial commemorative pin. It's really a symbol of the role that GDOT's played in the growth and transformation of the state of Georgia, the evolving role we continue to play in going forward. I know I wear mine with pride and hope you do as well. And with the commitment based on the prior 100 years, that we should have the same commitment to doing our very best for transportation in Georgia today and tomorrow and for the next 100 years. You know, folks, this is truly amazing times for the Department of Transportation. The outlook is very bright. The first 100 years of investing in transportation really didn't expand capacity. The first things they did, again, we got out of the mud, and then we started expanding capacity of infrastructure and rail and transit along the way as well. And finding new and innovative ways to address freight and mobility concerns will be one of our challenges going forward. How do we make a difference in those arenas going forward as our transportation needs have evolved and changed over time? The passing of Georgia's Transportation Funding Act of 2015 has really boasted in our efforts in making that difference and really helping us to really reunite the ability for us to provide a world-class transportation system. And that's what we should do. Georgia is a world-class state. The city of Atlanta is certainly an international world-class city, and that should be our aim and our focus. The Transportation Funding Act funds also just helps us be able to meet the basic demands of taking care of our existing infrastructure first and foremost, just like we do at home, of taking care of what we have first. And that's given us the ability now to start doing that, as well as to take on economic growth through its expanded markets, world markets that come in through this state, through the ports and through the airports, and that really drive this economy of the state, including supporting agribusiness, which is the #1 industry in this state. Transportation plays a vital role for that. The historic legislation of the Transportation Funding Act of 2015, is just that. It's historic. It's very much like back then in the 1920s of some funding increases. We have a tremendous opportunity ahead of us now to provide Georgia the transportation it so deserves, and to restore and maintain our critical infrastructure. You know, in every decade of Georgia's history, road building and mobility improvements have always enhanced the quality of life for people. It's presented significant business opportunities across our state. In the last 3 decades, demand for improved transportation and higher infrastructure investment has inspired great innovation. Just take, for example, a few of those innovations. Going back to Georgia DOT being an early implementer of something called fiber optics, when nobody knew what fiber optics were. Back back prior to the Olympics, in fact, when we got into the fiber business to be able to provide communications to our changeable message signs and through the ITS infrastructure that we know as Navigator today. The heroes born out of innovation, our hero program, again, as we celebrated their birthday just last year, was one born out of a need and innovation to take care of a situation that we thought was just going to be in 1996, and it's never stopped since. Look at what a success they were. And again, the 511 program as the Navigator goes. But also innovative roadway and interchange designs. You know, Georgia has among the most roundabouts of any state in the nation, and certainly has many more interchanges called diverging diamond interchanges than probably most other states. So we're certainly in the top 10 in the nation in that regard too. So innovation is just one of those things we do well at Georgia, and we'll continue to do, and we'll have to be challenged to continue to do that to provide for the citizens of Georgia. While the Centennial has been a time, and it's going to be a time, let's continue to look back at the past. We also have to look at our new challenges. And as I tell people, I think transportation now is we're in the wild, wild west of technology. All of you and half of you are looking at your phones now. But we've got these phones that have changed our lives in a dramatic kind of way. And that technology is being incorporated into vehicles. It's being incorporated to us on our bodies. And not only is that technology, but we have technology of things flying around that we never, unmanned aerial vehicles flying around now that are creating all kind of issues and challenges and opportunities to be able to use that technology for our benefit and for the benefit of the transportation network. So we look back, but also I think we have to continue to look ahead and embrace whatever technology there is and how to integrate that again to make Georgia a better place to be. And I know that everybody sitting in this room and everybody out in the districts are up to that challenge to make that happen. So we're very proud of GDOT's legacy, and I think the biggest part of the legacy is that of our employees, of us as staff, striving to provide the best possible transportation system for the citizens of Georgia. While we face many challenges over the years, and I think we all have war stories of the challenges we've faced through natural disasters and funding and all the things that make things a challenge to deliver, we've always realized much success even in spite of those situations because of the dedication of our employees to rise above and always come through. And that's built on the shoulders of the people that came before us, the people that are here today, and that we build on that success for our future DOT family and staff to continue that same great work of meeting the challenges. I'm very honored and humble to be able to serve as the Commissioner of Georgia DOT at this time. It is a special time. It's a historic time, I truly believe, to work with so many great people, this great transportation board that's sitting behind me in the audience that provide us leadership and guidance. To all of you as staff, everybody out in the districts and all our field offices that are not here at One Georgia Center with us today, it is quite an honor to be able to be part of such a great team. And I just look forward to the remainder of this year as we're going to be able to focus on the past, talk about the future, and enjoy some great times and just the rich history of the Department of Transportation. I thank you all for being here today. Thank you for what you do, and we look forward to next 100 years. I don't think I'm going to be here, so maybe we will. Who knows? But it's going to be great, and the future is bright. So thank you so much. I'm looking to Carlene. Is there any final words or directions? Okay, so at this point, not everybody at once, but the displays are out in the lobby area as you exit the doors. Hang a left, and there's plenty of displays of our rich history and a lot of information. And there's going to be even more information to come. So stay tuned on the web and on your email, and stay tuned. We're going to have a lot of different